Hello, everyone. My name is Sandy. Welcome to the People's Congregation of Shakers and Movers podcast. Today, we're coming at you live with Luna C with Colleen Marie. This is your weekly astrological look ahead, and we are so excited to co-create the universe with you. As always, Colleen, I just wanted to pop in real quick and say hi and remind everybody that we have a really special event coming up this Friday night. We're going to meet here at 63 Washington Street, here meaning the chapel. I'm actually currently perched at my altar, which I'm so excited to share with everyone. But this workshop this Friday is going to be truly unique. It is a positivity infusion workshop. I personally don't even know exactly what that entails, but I'm excited to find out because who doesn't need more positivity, right? So Mark, who is leading this circle, he is the founder of Healing is for Everyone. And if you follow him on Facebook, you will have noticed that he has been giving out micro grants to other small healers, like small businesses, people who are healers who are just looking for a little extra support so that they can provide their services for free to those in need. So Mark, we really do bow to what your mission is and what you're doing. And we're so, so happy that you found out about the People's Congregation and want to bring that here. So in order to reserve your spot, we are going to be limited to 25 people. We would ask that you go to pcsam.org. You can go under the event section, scroll down, and again, that's this Friday. I think is that the 11th already? Oh my God, time is flying.
Friday the 13th.
Oh, is it? Oh, it's Friday the 13th. How could I forget that? Oh my gosh, right. This is why we're doing this, right? I got to get my calendar straight. And then on Saturday, we have DJ Ray. He usually does some awesome EDM. So bring your dancing shoes, bring a yoga mat if you want to get, if you want to get on the floor and celebrate with us during Soul Saturday. Anything goes. And again, we want to thank Sarah for the slow flow class last weekend. We were totally at max capacity, and thank you DJ Wyatt for my daughter even did the class because she loves your music, so that was huge. And then lastly, we do want to mention that we still do have some of our amazing hats that come in not one, not two, but three different styles. So you will receive this hat with your $250 yearly membership, which supports this podcast. So that's my spiel. But Colleen, how are you feeling today?
I am great. I just came off of a workshop that I taught for free at the Situate Public Library yesterday, which was a lot of fun. And then I did want to plug, I am doing a 4-week tarot intensive. I know you and Stan took my course before, so it's a similar idea, but it will be in person at the Situate Salt Cave on Sunday is the first week. And we have 4 spots left. So if you're interested, look it up.
Is it 4 Sundays in a row or the first Sunday of every month?
It's 4 Sundays, but there's a break in the middle.
Okay. Yeah, I can tell you from experience, it was so much information and it was so beautiful that I honestly could probably do it again. Like just to brush up, because it was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It's flying. So yeah, anybody who's interested in like it's beginner tarot, right? You kind of break down the major, the minors. Great way to look at yourself and your situation in life, just like astrology, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
So we survived the Cancer full moon.
Oh, that's what I was going to actually start with. We've got had that Cancer full moon on Friday, so we were all really feeling it this weekend. A lot of emotion, a lot of intensity around, especially around relationships. We might have noticed some breakthroughs, some shifting, because it was at a nice angle to Uranus, which always brings some unexpected stuff, usually for the best, and for some freedom and breakthrough, which was good. But I know for me, it was definitely the most kind of homey full moon. I didn't want to like move. I just wanted to stay home and snuggle all weekend. So if that's what you were feeling, you were right on time. Of course, we also had both Mercury and Mars retrograde, which we still have this week. But the good news is that is ending towards the end of this week and next week. So we'll be talking about that today.
If anybody has any comments or questions, they can also pop it in the comment section.
Yes, please. Yeah. I don't think I can see it, but Sandy, you can read to me whatever shows up.
We do have somebody saying Hello, gorgeous, and positivity
Oh,
is awesome and for the win. So yeah.
yay. Yay. Okay, so we're going to dive in. So, as I mentioned, Mercury has been retrograde since the beginning of this month. If you pay attention to astrology, you've heard this term. It essentially means that it looks like Mercury's moving backwards in the sky. And Mercury is the planet of communication, of technology, of all those little moving parts that we experience all day long, our schedules, our routines, all of that. So if you've been noticing scheduling concerns or anything to do with technology being a little off, that you can blame on Mercury retrograde. And it is in the sign of Capricorn, which means it's especially going to affect maybe our long term goals and career initiatives. So, this isn't the best time to start new things. Here I am starting a course on in Mercury retrograde, but it's almost ending. And it's a course that I'm revisiting, I'm teaching it again, right? So that type of thing is actually encouraged during Mercury retrograde. It's okay to go back and revisit things. It's just not always a great time to start new ones. Luckily, it does station direct next Wednesday, the 18th. So we're still in the midst of it, but it's not going to last forever. And meanwhile, we have had Mars in retrograde in Gemini, and Gemini is ruled by Mercury. So it has a similar vibration to Mercury retrograde. So it's like doubling down on this. And that's been going on for a while. That's been going on for about 5 weeks at this point, but it's going to start to end as of this Thursday, the 12th. So that's going to feel really good. Expect a time where, like, you may want to start to move forward in new areas. We'll talk about that when we get to Thursday, but ultimately, watch this week for feeling like we're a little frustrated, maybe having some harshness in the way that we communicate. So, watching for that will be important while we're in this retrograde phase. So yeah, we are after the full moon, we can always expect our energy to start to become a little bit more internalized. And so, not the time to really expect too much of ourselves on an energy level. We're kind of going towards that new moon, slowing things down a little bit. Monday, we do start the week with the moon in today in dramatic Leo. So, this is a really great day for connecting with loved ones, but also really letting our light shine, finding what's fun, what brings us pleasure, what's kind of just like a fun hobby that we enjoy, and living that up. It's a great day for creativity and warmth and maybe a little bit of drama. So, there's also a really nice trine, which is a very positive alignment between Venus and Mars that can bring some sexy, steamy energy or just general creativity, a sense of vitality, all of that. So I don't know about you, but I'm kind of feeling that today as much as it's been such a emotional heavy weekend. This morning I was like, I'm gonna work out. I feel kind of like I have some energy. I feel kind of alive today. So that felt really good. Good for relationships. It's got a nice yin yang balance today. So that part's nice. Tomorrow, we do have the moon entering your sign of Virgo, and it's going to be in Virgo all midweek, which I think is really good for getting things done. But remember, we're not starting new things, we're finishing up the old. Okay. This is especially good on Monday into Tuesday because what we have is called a void moon. And what that means is it's finishing out its time in Leo. And before it moved into Virgo early on Tuesday morning, there's a bit of a time where it's not really doing anything in the sky. So, what that means is it's a really good time to button up and tie up any loose ends. If there are situations that you want to just be done with, tonight, tomorrow morning is the time to just like put the finishing touches on it and put it away. You will not have to revisit it again and again. So that part's nice. So the moon in Virgo really favors attention to detail, getting some things done. But remember, Virgo is ruled by Mercury, Mercury's retrograde. So I'm just going to keep saying that because we're just going to not have the crazy expectations to get it all accomplished. But it's still, again, a good time to focus on those details and put some work into our routine, maybe revisiting things that we've done before and picking them up again. I don't know. For me, I'm thinking I might go back to my taxes and look at those for last year, mid-month, midweek. I mean, this is a good time. So Wednesday, we do have Mercury in Capricorn comes to a square to Chiron. So Chiron is the wounded healer. And what I love about this is it can kind of bring up some situations that need to be dealt with within us, but it can be a little bit harsh. It can challenge us on Wednesday. So we might be wondering, really looking at the balance between our expectations for ourselves at work and our individuality. And those two things might be kind of coming to a head midweek. We might be noticing this theme as we approach that square. Thursday, we do have the moon in late degrees Virgo, and it comes to an opposition with Neptune in Pisces. So this could bring some potential for kind of emotional enmeshment where we kind of find that we feel like responsible for everybody else's emotions, or we're feeling their emotions as if they're our own. So we're going to really want to watch to make sure that our boundaries are clear, that we are focused on our own, making sure we're watering our own grass first, not trying to kind of take on anyone else's psychic junk. The good news is if we really use this to, its highest vibration, we might find that we are a little extra psychic and aware and attuned to the universe on Thursday. The other great thing is that Mars does station direct on Thursday, so we might feel that kind of forward momentum again, a little bit of vitality returns, this desire to kind of take action and get some things done. It will probably bring a big fresh breath of fresh air as we move into the weekend. So we have that working for us. Friday is Friday the 13th. And I just want to say that it's a lucky day. It has such a negative connotation in our culture, but actually 13 is supposedly a very lucky number. There are 13 lunations. There are 13 full moons in the calendar year, and it has a very strong divine feminine dynamic. There's a lot people talk about the connection with Mary Magdalene and her journey. So I just think it's important to kind of take a minute and recognize how special Friday the 13th actually is. So, if you research that, it's fascinating to see where it comes from, these superstitions. But there is some lucky stuff happening that day. The moon will move into Libra, which is always a kind of nice balanced time. We tend to really appreciate beauty and art and music when the moon's in Libra. It's a good time to go shopping, a good day to update our wardrobe or get our hair done or whatever it is that might kind of be those beauty enhancing things. Libra loves that. It also tends to be a good day for partnerships and balance. Although on that particular day, or actually I think it's on Saturday, there could be some challenge to relationships. So we're going to watch for that. But Thursday, it's nice because we've got a square to that forward moving a trine. And so that brings in that forward momentum when it comes to our emotional action and wanting to show people that we care about them. So that's really big on Friday. It's a nice, warm, and loving day. But Saturday can kind of turn because we have Venus aspecting Uranus, and it's going to be hitting at a square. And here's the thing. Uranus is all about freedom. Venus is all about connection. When the two are not, in a good place with each other, we might be feeling restless, especially in our partnerships and even in work and in our projects. We might be like, you know what? I don't even want to deal with this anymore. So we have to watch to not throw the baby out with the bathwater. The high vibration of this is relationship breakthroughs and having those important conversations and becoming more kind of interdependent as opposed to codependent. So that can be the positive that can come from this on Saturday. But just be kind with your partner and with yourself and in your creative projects as well, because Venus rules that too. And yeah, finally, we're ending the week with kind of an intense moon. The moon's going to move into Scorpio, and the sun will be conjunct Pluto at the same time. So Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. This is deep diving, intense stuff that can come to the surface on Sunday and into Monday as well. Intense emotions, obsessive tendencies, situations where repressed feelings are kind of coming to the surface. This is a time where we might find some intense enthusiasm and forward momentum and drive, which is the positive. But again, it can be a little emotionally overwhelming, which can be kind of the more challenging aspect of this. So, watching for that, knowing that it'll be a good day to kind of either hide a little bit or really attack something that, again, not something new, but attacking something with a lot of energy and force and momentum on Sunday. So that's kind of the overview. Um, Again, Mercury does go direct on the 18th next week. So we're going to feel a nice kind of break from this frustration that we might have been experiencing for the past couple weeks. And then we've got, before you know it, we're in Aquarius season already on the 20th of January. And we've got a new moon in Aquarius on the 21st. So we've got a lot to look forward to. We're going to notice a lot of change. And I always kind of like to talk about how Pluto, this massively powerful planet, is the sun is going to be conjuncted towards the second half of this week and into next, which brings a lot of that obsessive and focus that I was talking about. But in a few months' time, in March, it's actually going to move into a new sign. It's going to be in Aquarius for the first time in 250 years. So this is a really, really powerful time for all of us to be paying attention to.
So is this what they
But
mean
it
by
might,
Aquarius, Colleen? Like
yes, the age of
song?
Aquarius. Exactly, exactly. And I think it's going to be interesting as it goes through those last few degrees of Capricorn, which it has been in since 2008. Just watching for, structures that might be changing in our culture. We might notice it affects the government. I don't know. We've been noticing that a little bit with the Speaker of the House drama and all of that. So we're definitely watching and just paying attention to how this affects all of us as a culture.
But what is the age of Aquarius like? Why has everybody been sort of like idolizing it, or
Yeah.
like?
Well, I think it's important to look at the fact that Aquarius is the sign of the collective. It's the sign of humanitarianism, of wanting equal opportunity and access for all. And so, with Pluto in that sign, we're going to see massive change across industry, the way that we use technology so that it's more equitable and more accessible for all. I There's just going to be a lot of breakthroughs in that realm. It is also the sign of expecting the unexpected. So it won't be necessarily, super low key. It'll still bring up some stuff, but I think it'll all be for that greater good. And knowing that that's ahead of us and that's where Pluto will be, it's interesting because of retrograde, it's going to dip in to Aquarius and then come back into Capricorn the second half of this year, and then forge ahead into Aquarius for the next 20 years.
Oh wow.
So, yeah, this will be a really interesting time for all of us. And I think many of us feel, and this is me being a little esoteric, I suppose, but this is a church. So um, I think a lot of us who are healers, and you've been talking about, the church itself and these other amazing people that you've, created collaborations with, we're all kind of here at this point, I believe, for a reason. And I think a lot of us have felt that we're really incarnated during a very difficult, challenging time, but we're here to help bridge to this new phase of living. And I'm excited to see what that brings.
And kind of bridge it to our children, right? Like in a way too. I think a big theme, I feel like, since maybe, I don't know if there's something in the stars with this, but late 2019 for me, there was a big shift in, I don't know if that's I was 42. So like, so wasn't that my Chiron, what is it called?
That's your Uranus
Chiron.
mission, and then you have your Chiron return at 50.
Oh, that's at 50. Oh, okay, okay, okay. So yeah, so I was having, and really just to be of service kept coming up. How can I give back? How can I show my gratitude and my appreciation for the abundance and the luck? I'll call it luck. I know I was born under a lucky star.
Yes, you.
So how can I help more people feel better? Like it was just very simple. Like, I'm very blessed in that people open up to me and they feel like that they can, talk with me. And I think I also started to bear the weight of the world and realize that this community was also something I desperately needed, just to help kind of take the burden, lift some of the, some of the kind of the veil, and bring the light in. And so again, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for being our resident astrologer. And if anyone is interested in supporting, ready? Boop.
Oh,
You can certainly
that's
smash that donate button. I wish we actually had the money.
amazing.
We're working up to that. But we aren't afraid, to ask. And that's like what I think is so important about just asking source, for guidance, or asking the stars for guidance. And, we are asking that if this is of value to you, or if you are in search of a community, come down and check us out. Like, we're pretty fun people. We had a really fun mocktail little party on the full moon, for the full moon. And it was very cozy and it was very informal. We, sometimes as women, and, we're used to gathering in circle, I think. And sometimes that might be a little more challenging for some of the men in our community who are at least a little bit newer to sort of these spiritual practices outside of a traditional church. And so one comment that one of the men made was, "Oh, I'm so happy we didn't do a circle share." And I was very self-conscious that I didn't like call everybody into a circle, so I just really went with my intuition and kind of read the room and thought like, hey, we can just kind of gather around the proverbial, bar, but it was a mocktail bar, but we were really nourishing ourselves with tonics that were supporting our adrenals and our nervous system and our brains. And, it's just nice to sort of reverse the culture of the bar scene and like really just say like, wow, like I actually didn't miss alcohol at all. I actually got kind of more stimulated and more excited because I couldn't believe how amazing these herbs tasted and these teas tasted, so it was just a really fun night. So, and all of these events come to us because the members present it and they want to share. So, again, we are only what our members bring. So again, thank you so much for what you bring, my dear. And I do so look forward to this every week. So you guys, we are going to stick here on YouTube and Facebook. And please tell your friends, and please go over and subscribe to our YouTube page, which is at PCSM Church. Yeah. Any final words? How do we sign up for your tarot? What's the best way, Colleen Marie?
Yeah, so if you head to the Situate Salt Cave website, there's, as I said, there's 4 spots left. So I'd love to get that filled with someone from this community. Would be amazing. And yeah, it's 222 for the 4 weeks. So head on over, join us. Even if you can't make it every week, if you do need a little like, one-on-one, I can always set that up with you if you can't make it. So yeah.
One other thing we should mention, I mean, we say this very quickly, the Situate Salt Cave, right? So what would
Yes.
the benefits? Why don't we talk a little bit about the added value that people are going to get by
Yeah.
simply sitting in it? Is it going to be in the actual cave that you meet
So
and
the first half of it's an hour and a half. So the first 45 minutes will be in the cave. And so it's such a cool space. If you haven't been yet, basically has 30,000 tons of Himalayan salt, rock salt on the walls, as well as, sand on the ground, like crystals. And so you sit in this space, and they also infuse the air with a medicinal grade salt. So what's nice is salt takes away the negative ions, or leaves behind negative ions, that helps with, joint pain, skin issues, breathing. Really, really good for the lungs. Those of us who, struggle with any of that stuff, especially in the wintertime, it's just so rejuvenating and relaxing. So really cool space. It's not like cold or anything. Like
yeah.
it's not an actual cave. People have definitely thought that it was. I know I was confused by that at first. So it's just a room that feels very nice and nurturing and a great place to connect. So we'll be diving in, connecting with our guides, really walking through how to trust our intuition more and to use the cards as a tool.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I will definitely 100% spread the word, and I can't wait to get back to the Salt Cave myself. So,
Yeah.
yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. This has been a production of the People's Congregation of Shakers and Movers, and this has been Lunacy with Colleen Marie. We hope you have a blessed week and keep co creating to your highest